Right then guys, how's it going and welcome back to your football predictions. It is time for the New Year's Day predictions. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you all had a good Christmas. Thank you to everyone who got involved in the last video, which was for the Boxing Day fixtures. No, it wasn't. There was games since then as well. Who got involved for the midweek fixtures. I went through all of your comments. I picked out the two winners who both got 3 correct scores, and they are Lee and Kyle. So well done to you two. Remember, if you want to be shouted out in my next predictions video, be sure to get yourself down in the comments and let me know your predictions for the games tomorrow, which is New Year's Day. There's also games on Sunday and one on the Monday night as well. If you are watching this late, maybe you're watching this hungover on New Year's Day, still get your predictions in for the Sunday and Monday as well. I will always try and come back and pick up the late predictions. But as always, let's get into the video. So to start things off, 12:30 on BT Sport on Saturday. So that's tomorrow, New Year's Day. We've got Arsenal taking on Manchester City. Both teams on a decent bit of form. Arsenal didn't play a game during the week. Man City did. They beat Brentford 1-0 and have now won 10 games in a row. Arsenal themselves have won their last 4 games as well, which is why I say they're both on decent form. Man City 8 points clear at the top of the table now, are doing very well for themselves. I've got to back them, to be honest. Arsenal are at home. Maybe they can put that win streak to an end for Man City. I don't know. I'm going to go Man City 2-1. Maybe not. There are some good games on over the next few days, so hopefully this will be one of them. So yeah, we'll go for a few goals, 2-1 to Man City. Moving on to the 3 o'clock on Saturday now, just the one 3 o'clock kick-off on New Year's Day. We have got Watford taking on Spurs. Watford had 3 games postponed in a row before then losing to West Ham 4-1 the other night. Spurs, I think they had the really good draw against Liverpool, the 2-2. Then they beat Crystal Palace, which was another 3-0 win, but then did draw against Southampton in their game, which I actually watched. And I actually thought Southampton were the better team for large periods of that game, so maybe the draw isn't that bad for Spurs after all. And I should say, I've just mentioned a couple of postponements there. You'll realise as we go through this video that talking about recent form of teams is quite tough when some have missed 3 games for the last month. I'm sure at least 3 teams in this prediction, their last game was against Chelsea because they've had all the games postponed in between. But anyway, for this one, Watford versus Spurs, I'm going to have to back Spurs, to be honest. Watford again can be exciting to watch at times. I think Dennis is second highest for goals and assists for any player in the Premier League this season, which is a crazy stat for a team who aren't really winning many games. I think there could be well goals. 2-1 Spurs, another 2-1. And then the 5:30 game on Saturday on Sky, we have got Crystal Palace taking on West Ham. So I just mentioned Crystal Palace lost 3-0 against Spurs last weekend, but then in the midweek they beat Norwich 3-0. So they've turned that one around. Now taking on a West Ham side who I have spoken about as being a little bit down on form recently, but a very comprehensive 4-1 win for them during the week. So I am going to back them again. 1-0 West Ham. Close one, but I think they could take it. And then moving on to the Sunday where there is loads of 2 o'clock games. There's just the one that's on TV though, and it's on Sky, and it is Brentford taking on Aston Villa. Brentford lost their last 2 games versus Brighton and Man City. I think I actually backed them for the draw against Brighton, but Brighton went and got themselves, well, as I say, Brighton love a draw, and we'll talk about them in a minute. But Brentford have lost the last 2. Obviously, it was going to be a tough one against Man City. I didn't see that game, but the fact that they only lost 1-0, maybe they did all right. Taking on Aston Villa, who have been playing very well under Steven Gerrard. As I said, I think the only games they've lost was against Man City, was against Liverpool, but both really pushed it in that game. And they lost, unfortunately, in their last game against Chelsea 3-1 during the week. But having said that, again, they have been doing much better under Steven Gerrard. Taking on a Brentford side who, as exciting as they were at the start of the season, have fallen off a bit. So I will back Villa there. 2-0 to Aston Villa. And then moving on to another 2 o'clock game, but not on TV. On the Sunday, we have got Everton taking on Brighton. So again, Everton, another team who have had a lot of postponements. The last game they played was on the 16th of December, and they drew against Chelsea, taking on Brighton, who played Chelsea through the week and drew 1-1. So both teams' last game was against Chelsea. As I say, to go off form, and Brighton, they love a draw. They got one in the Chelsea game, which I've no doubt they'll be buzzing with. I think that's a really good point for them. Taking on an Everton side who, again, if they are bringing back injuries and there isn't any positive cases, then technically they've had a 3-week break before going into this one, whereas Brighton have just played a game. But obviously if Everton don't have fit players, is that actually an advantage? So it's all a bit up in the air. I'm going to go 1-1. And I should say as well, I mean, moments before starting this video, the Southampton-Newcastle game got postponed, and the Leicester-Norwich game had already been postponed. So that's 2 out of 10 already down. Could well be more. That's probably one that I'm looking at to see whether that'll go ahead, with Everton not playing in the midweek either. Next up on the list is, again, still 2 o'clock, Leeds taking on Burnley. Leeds have had games postponed. It was the last game that got postponed, but previous to that they had lost 3 games in a row, but they were all very tough fixtures, so it was not a surprise they didn't go quite the way they hoped. Leeds, I think Newcastle have had a really tough December. I think Leeds is even worse. Leeds have had an extremely tough fixture list, but now going in against the Burnley side who just lost last night against Manchester United 3-1. I think Leeds will definitely be looking at this as a chance to try and grab some more points on the board. But if I'm being honest, I think I would 1-1 or maybe 1-0 either way. Again, I know Burnley lost, but generally Sean Dyche has made them a side that are extremely tough to break down. And despite Leeds' tough fixtures, they haven't been that great this season anyway. So I actually think this is quite a tough one to call. Another 1-1. Would they be happy with the draws? I think, well, Burnley need to get away from the relegation spot. I think Leeds would be possibly be happy with a draw, because it means that they've bumped an extra point up and left Burnley further away. The last thing Leeds want is a loss, because that would be allowing Burnley to get that 3 points closer to them. Stick with the 1-1. And then moving on to the 4:30 on Sunday, and this one is on Sky, and it is Chelsea taking on Liverpool. So Chelsea sitting in 2nd place, Liverpool sitting in 3rd. Just 1 point between the two sides. As I say, Chelsea 8 points off Man City, Liverpool 9 points off Man City. I'll have to apologise. I'm not sure if they do have a game in hand on Man City or if they are on the same amount of games. Either way, they've got a bit of catching up to do, and both teams with results in the midweek they won't be happy with. Again, I said Chelsea drew with Brighton, Liverpool losing to Leicester, which again is a game that I backed Liverpool to win, and Mo Salah missed a penalty, I believe, so that wasn't great for fantasy football, especially when he was my captain. So I haven't wrote a prediction down for this one, and I have just gone for a draw in the last 2 games. So I feel like I should pick a winner here and not just sit on the fence again. I do like to back the home side. Chelsea are almost a bit unknown at the moment, because as I say, they had started the season so well, but then, you know, the draw against Brighton they'll be disappointed with. They've had a few games recently where they've kind of finished in a draw. Liverpool again have been, to be honest, very, very good, and I did not expect them to lose against Leicester. I think ultimately, for my view on these two teams, I would go Liverpool win 1-0. But if Chelsea pulled something off, it would not surprise me, so we'll have to see. And to finish off on the Monday night at 5:30 on Sky, we have got Manchester United taking on Wolves. So I've just mentioned it. Man United won last night against Burnley 3-1. Wolves' last game again was against Chelsea on the 19th of December. So 2 weeks ago since they last played a game. So again, if they have the players available and there's no positive cases, then they have had a 2-week break compared to Manchester United, who will have had a 2-day break. But then again, it just depends on whether they actually have the fit players. And Manchester United do have a very big squad. And if they use it correctly, then maybe they could work something out there. I think I'm feeling draw again, to be honest. I'm gonna go Man United 2-1. And leave it at that. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. As always, drop a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. If you are enjoying this Premier League prediction series. As I say, it's been pretty crazy over the last week. I think I've done 3 videos in the last week. And as I say, next weekend is the FA Cup weekend, I believe. So there will not be there will not be a video during the week. I'll be back for the following for the next predictions video, depending on when the games are, because they're going to have to play all these postponed games at some point, so it would not surprise me if they start shooting up all over the place, but we will have to wait and see. But hope you all have a fantastic new year tonight, whether you're going out, whether you go to a party, whether you're having a quiet one at home. I hope you guys all enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, enjoy the football. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll catch you later.